Hello there, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to look at building out our style guide further and adding an extended palette to our colors. So let's go. Okay, so diving into Figma, just before we start, I want to make a quick change. I am not happy calling this color purple, so I'm just going to rename it to Sapphire, and I'm just going to update that in the variables as well. So we'll just quickly do that. There we go, DWM Sapphire 500, that's fine. And then we'll just quickly go in, publish. Okay, we can put that updated name of color from purple to sapphire. So publish the file. And there we go. Okay, we're good to go. Okay, so what we want to do is look at our extended color palette. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this, and I'm just going to update the heading here. Just going to reset this for now. I can add some information a bit later. Can delete that one for now. So what I'll do here is I'll just reset that swatch there, so we've got it ready to go. Okay, so what we need now is we need some blacks, greys and white, and this is for our UI design, our components, our typography. These colors are going to be utilized there. Okay, so what I'm going to do as a starting point is I'm going to click on F on the keyboard, draw out a frame, and then I'm going to press I on the keyboard, and I'm going to get the eyedropper, and I'm going to take our color DWM Sapphire 500. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to click on the fill. I'm going to go to hue, saturation and brightness, so make sure that is set to HSB, and then I'm going to go to the last one, which is brightness. I'm going to drop it all the way down till we're getting close to black. Okay, so I've dropped it down to 8. I'm going to close this down, and I'm going to go to my plugins, and I'm going to load the foundation color generator. Now, this plugin's really useful. It gives you a number of profiles from other design systems. I'm going to select Atlassian. I'm now going to click on the color. I'm going to use the eyedropper that they provide, and I'm going to click on our color. That's now given us a palette here, but I want the neutrals, so I'm going to click on neutral, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reselect the color. And there we go, we've now got our range of colors all the way from 900 all the way to white. So I'm just going to rename that neutrals, or neutral. So that's good, that's all done. Just going to zoom out a little bit. What you can do now is, before variables you could create styles, so this plugin would output all the styles here into Figma's style panel. I don't want to do that because we're using variables now. So what I'm going to do is click on palette. That exports the palette that we see here. I'm just going to close that. I'm going to click on the neutrals. I'm just going to Command C and then delete it because I'm not sure where I am. Okay, there we go. Let's just paste that back in. Can probably just move that frame over for now. Okay, so we've got our range of blacks, greys, all the way up until white. Potentially what you could do here is just copy and paste in what the plugin is output, because it gives you a swatch. It's giving you a unique name, and then it's giving you the hex code and the RGB. I don't want to do that. I want to have the control over the swatch in case I want to add or remove certain information. So that's why we're using our own local swatch component. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to recreate our neutrals palette using my local swatch component. So I'll speed this part of the video up, and I will see you in a bit. Okay, so welcome back. So as you can see on the page, we've got our neutral colors available. We've got everything from 900 all the way down to 0. So we've got our blacks, we've got our grays, and we've got our white down at the bottom. So this is what we're going to need when we're building out our core components and our designs. So the reason I'd want to opt for a range like this of many colors is we don't know what components that we're going to build at the moment. It's better to have more colors at this early stage, and then potentially at a later date, if we find that we're not using certain colors, you could remove them from the system. But for now, we'll go for this palette. We'll go from 900 to 0, and we'll go from there. So something we'll probably think about as we're building out our designs when we have more colors is accessibility and color contrast. So you want to make sure your designs are accessible to all people. So you probably wouldn't use really light text over a really light background, or really dark text over a really dark background, because you wouldn't be able to see it. The color contrast wouldn't be very good. So this is definitely something you should think about as you're building out your design system and the components within it. Okay, one thing I want to do just before we go into creating our variables is just adjust the naming convention. So let's just unlock the page, go in here, and I just want to add DWM hyphen at the beginning. And I'm just going to quickly speed up this section just so the naming convention matches what we're already using for the brand colors. Okay, so now we've updated the naming convention. What I want to do is add all of these colors as variables. I'm just going to click off so I'm not selecting anything on the canvas. I'm going to go to local variables, click on the icon, and here we see our brand color variables. What I want to do just before I start is give my variables a little bit more structure. So we have our collection up here. So this is where you would create new collections. So at the moment, this is the colors collection, and it's showing me all variables within this color collection, this option here. What I want to do is I want to cluster certain colors together. So as an example, I'm going to edit these brand variables, and just by putting brand / at the beginning of the name is going to cluster these, as you can see here. So if I do the same for this one, so as we add more colors to the file, I want to be able to cluster these colors and easily filter them in the variables panel, and this is a good way of doing it. So brand / clusters these two colors together. So we're going to have the option to view all variables up here, and that will show all color variables, or you'll be able to cluster them together, and we'll probably have brand and we'll have our neutrals in a second. Okay, so I'm going to click on create variable. I'm going to click on color. I am going to zoom in the background. So our color name is DWM-neutral 900. And there we go. So I'm just going to click on the color, use the eyedropper tool, and select our color here. Okay, that's great, that's done. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add the head in extended palette, put / there, click on enter, and now that appears as an option here. So if I go into brand, it just shows me the brand colors. Click on extended palette, it's going to show me my extended palette in here. And potentially we might want to break this down a bit further, but for now I think this is fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up this part of the video and add the remaining variables. So I will see you in a bit. Okay, so welcome back. So as you can see, we have our neutral palette in. We've got all our colors here under the variables. I'll just drag this out a little bit more so they're all in there. So trying to think ahead and stay organized. I don't want to flood the extended palette with neutrals and all sorts of different colors. So let's give it some more structure. I'm going to click on settings here. So we've got extended palette / and then we've got our naming convention. I'm just going to delete the first part, and I'm going to paste in extended palette / neutral, and then that way if I press enter it's now going to cluster so we can see all variables, we've got our brands, we've got our extended palette, and then we've got just neutrals. So here you can toggle the different levels, so you can click on the arrow. It just gives us another grouping level so we can sort and find things nice and easy. So I'm just going to quickly go through and quickly rename all of these variables. Should be nice and quick because I've copied and pasted this to the clipboard. Let's just run through the navigation on the side. So we have our collection at top, colors, that's the top level collection. Then we have all variables, so we can view all our variables here. So clicking on brand, that then filters the view to our brand variables. Now if I click on the extended palette, that's going to show us our neutrals. And to keep things organized, we can create additional sub-levels like I've done here with neutral, but we'll see how our project goes, whether we need them or whether we don't need them. We can always change it later, it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to close down the variables panel. And as you can see, there's a little dot here on the book icon. Okay, so let's go and view our unpublished changes. Click on there. We've got a publish button here. So let's click on publish. Let's click on modified. So we can see that we've adjusted the brand variables because we've added brand / and we've added all of these neutral variables here with this naming convention. So what I'll do is I'll go back. I'm just going to add to the description. Okay, so what I've added here is I've updated the brand color string to brand / for grouping, which is what we've done. So that clusters those colors together in the variables panel. I've added an extended palette level with a neutral sub-level set of variable colors. You can be as detailed as you want in these comments. It's good to provide as much information as possible because if you need to revert the file, you'll be able to see exactly what changes were made and what they were. Okay, so I'm going to click on publish. And there Figma goes, it's publishing the library, all the updates are done. So now we've got more variable colors to use. What I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to delete this frame right now because I don't need that. I'm just going to unlock this and I just want to tidy up this file. So if I click on the colors frame, the top level colors frame, I click on selection colors here. So I can see here that the top two brand colors are attached to the variables, but all these other colors here are not attached to the variables. So I want to go in and assign them the relevant variable. So I want to go in here and target these colors and update them with variables. So you can see when you hover over the different icons, if you click on style, which is the 4 dots, it gives you our variables. And as you can see, it's nicely broken down by brand, extended palette, and it's got our neutrals here. If you click on this target, it then selects all the elements on the board that are using this color, and then you can update them with a variable. What I want to do for the text in our swatch is I want to update that color. So it's currently using just black. Let's go to our variables. Let's use our neutral 900, which is nice and dark. So that will update on some of the component instances. On some of them I have overridden the styles. So I might need to go in quickly and update those. So I think it'll be these ones. I can target these here and I'll just apply neutral 900. Pretty sure that's going to be the same for this gold color. Okay, also on the component, what else do we have? Let's just have a look and look at our layers panel. Let's expand the container. There is a hidden notes comment here. I'm just going to update that as well to use neutral 900. Use the heading. Let's update that to neutral 900. Okay, now we've got our heading component. Let's do 900 there. And actually for some contrast, let's adjust and use a slightly different color between our headings and our text. So let's use 700 for now. That might change. For now I'll use 700, and for the heading I'll use 900. And hopefully that's now updated. Yep, so that's updated on the instance. Let's just double check here. Yeah, that's also updated here on this instance. So what I want to do is go through these swatches that we've created and assign them the relevant color variable. So I'll do that quickly now, and I will see you in a bit. Okay, so welcome back. If we click on our top level frame colors, so as you can see now in our selection color, all the colors that are being used now within this frame are a variable, so that's great. So just here on the local components, I'm making sure that this swatch component and this heading component, the headings are using 900. So if we go in and click, they're using neutral 900, and the text within them are now using 700. So that's good. Okay, so I think that's it for this video. We've built out our neutral color palette, and that's going to come in really handy when we're building out our components. In the next video, we'll look at expanding our color palette further, and we'll start to think about getting some success, alert, and error state colors, because we're probably going to need those for some of our components. So we'll look at expanding out our palette a little bit further for our project. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching to the end. Like and subscribe, add some comments, check out some other videos on my channel. There's videos every Wednesday, so I'm going to see you in the next one.